Hey, good people, it's Reverend Renee here. You know, I love a great t-shirt. I'll tell you about the one I have on today towards the end of this video. Okay, so a little bit about me. I'm a woman, a wife, a mom, a pastor, a mental health and wellness advocate, and I'm also someone who struggles with anxiety from time to time. I've been in therapy with a great sister therapist for about 1.5 years now. So I thought I would come to you today with a quick video about 7 things that I learned while in therapy. I hope you get something out of this. Okay, want to hear it? Here you go. All right, number 1, it's okay to not be okay. You know, these days life is throwing everything it has at us. I mean, hello, pandemic, upon a pandemic, upon quarantine life, upon entanglements for some of us. So we've got a lot going on, and this season has really unveiled and unearthed a whole lot of hurt and woundedness and trauma and anxiety and depression in a whole lot of people. So if you're not feeling yourself, it's okay. You're not alone. And I know sometimes it's scary to admit, I'm not feeling my best, and you wonder what might happen if you actually admit that. But I'm here to tell you that, if it feels like the world might fall apart if you admit that you're not okay, really, you can try it and see for yourself. The world will not completely fall apart, and things might even fall back together. So it's okay. There's no shame in admitting you're not okay. Just get yourself a little bit of help. Number 2, God can use a therapist to bring forth healing in your life. It's true. Therapists are trained and educated and equipped to help you and equip you with tools that you need to deal with your hurt and your pain and your wounds. And a great therapist can help you break down what might feel like a huge issue into small parts, and they'll help you deal with it. They'll help you manage. So another part of therapy is the work of therapy happens, yes, with your therapist, but most of the work of therapy happens once you leave that session, go out into the world, and then apply the tools that you've learned in therapy to your life. But the best part of it all is that God is with you on every step of your journey of healing. Number 3, there are other kinds of therapy besides talk therapy. From an Afrocentric theological lens, we know that our ancestors encountered God and found their healing in nature and in community. So why not try some of these different activities to see if it is healing for you? I want to mention first meditation. Focusing on the breath of God, the ruach or the pneuma of God, is one good activity to practice. There's also yoga. Focusing on the breath and the body, centering those really do help clear your mind. There's also somatic therapy. You can try African dance therapy or art therapy. Grab some friends or family members, go to a certified art therapist, and engage in a creative art project in a therapeutic space. There's also sound therapy. African drum circles can be good for that. There's also massage and energy work like Reiki that's really, really good, particularly for those who suffer from anxiety and depression. And there's also things like acupuncture. There's science that shows that it's good for those who have anxiety or depression to engage in acupuncture. You can really see some results that way. Also, let me mention rest. Being intentional about taking naps, getting enough sleep at night, it can do wonders for you. And then there's also the practice of saying no. Sometimes you just got to draw some boundaries around your life and say no to certain things, certain people, certain activities that don't serve you. No is both a complete sentence and a holy word. Take it from me. So those are just a few activities you could engage in that can bring about healing. You can use those as standalone activities, or you can partner those with talk therapy. Child, healing can be yours. Number 4, healing is an investment of time and money in your healing, but it's one that'll pay dividends for life. You'll never regret spending time or money on healing yourself. You're the only you that there is. You're the only you that you've got. So take good care of yourself. Part of being a good steward over your life is taking care of every aspect of it. So go ahead and make that investment. Your loved ones will thank you for it, and your future self will definitely thank you for it. You are worth it. Number 5, almost done. Healing isn't linear, right? It doesn't happen in a straight line. Sometimes things might feel worse before they feel better. Sometimes I can walk into a session with my therapist feeling good, feeling all juiced, like, yeah, I'm about to do some good healing work this week, and I can walk out a mess. Why? Because sometimes the process of therapy will have you unearthing some old wounds that you thought were already healed or already done with. Sometimes the work of healing can be overwhelming because it is a lot, right? You've been living with this hurt or trauma for a long time. It can be a lot trying to navigate back through that. And then sometimes you realize there are some areas in your life that you may not have submitted to God and let go yet. Eek. But whatever happens, if you feel that way, it doesn't mean that therapy isn't working. It actually means the opposite. It means that it's working, you're doing the work, and now you just have more capacity to handle other stuff that you perhaps didn't have before. So stay with it. Don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. All right. So number 6, wholeness is no trifling matter. It's a whole lot of weight when you're well. That's a quote from Tony Cade Bombaro's book, The Salt Eaters. And it's true. Doing the work of healing can be a lot of weight. And it requires of you to ask yourself the question, are you really ready to be whole and to be healed? Why? Because when you're whole, when you're healed, you show up differently in the world. You're able to love differently. You're able to live differently. Because you're no longer weighted down by that hurt and by that pain. So you got to be ready for it. But take it from me. One day something will happen in your life, child, and you'll realize I'm responding to this way differently than before I was in therapy. And you'll realize that is the fruit of your work, and it'll be dope. And speaking of dope, that brings us to number 7, this t-shirt. It's flawsome, which is an adjective to describe a person who knows that they have flaws, knows they're not perfect, but they embrace themselves and they love themselves and they celebrate themselves anyway. You see, I had to learn in therapy that no matter where I was in my journey, that I was still all right, that I was still wonderful, that I was still lovable and worth loving, worthy of love and of healing and acceptance. So offer yourself this today. Declare to yourself, yeah, I might have some issues, but I am flawsome, honey. I am wonderful. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. God made me and I'm all right, and I will be all right. Give yourself that gift of loving yourself no matter where you are in your journey right now. You deserve it. All right, so that's 7 things I wanted to share with you today about therapy. If you're interested in this kind of content, you can find me on my website at www.revrone.com. That's REVRONNE. Yeah, that is me. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Insta under those same handles. But if you got nothing else out of this video today, I want you to know that Jesus came that we might have life and that more abundantly. And mental health as well. God bless you.